Hello guys, welcome to our channel Global Tech on Tube. The video is a reproduction of the video about break, continue, and functions with examples. So right now, because of the missing of the audio in that video, I have to just reproduce it again. So what's this all about? Let's see. Thank you very much and keep watching. In this video, first of all, we're going to discuss about the break function and how we're going to do it on Python with the help of an example. A small bit of the examples that we're going to discuss in this video. It's one of those examples. So let's see what's this all about. For example, if I want to see that I put it as magic number is equal to 25 for n is magic for n in range (101) for n in range 101 if n is magic number print n and tell it is the magic number. Okay, and what it break else print n. So when we're going to run it, let's see what would be the result. So it has display the first 25 numbers in the range, which is 1 or 0 to 100 in Python. So with the help of a break function, we have actually kept our memory intact for about 75 numbers. So without wasting any extra memory, the break function has helped us to keep the result as per we have put in the required number, which is the magic number 25. When I'm going to put it the magic number like 75, so when I'm going to run it, it will show the first 75 numbers. So the rest of the 25 numbers are actually not been shown, so the memory is intact for the last 25 numbers. So this is how you're going to use the break function. Let's see about the continue function. Okay, in continue function, what we do, we want to have an example. Let's see. For example, I have a team with their a team of players with their shirts on, and obviously the numbers allotted to the respective player is on the back of the shirt. So what I have to do, for example, if I have a team of 11 players, and out of that 5 players I have to position into a front side of the field, and rest of them in the back side of the field. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do that. Yes, the players at front. Okay, and I'm going to create a list that is of, for example, the number allotted is I have allotted the number 11 with the t-shirt 11 player, with another 15, with another 20, and another with 25. So I know that all the players are in the list, are in the range of the numbers are in the range of, you can say, 1 to 50. All the 11 players with the t-shirts number on them are in the range of 1 to 50. So what I'm going to do, I want to take the front players out of this range. So the rest of the players will be definitely the remaining players in the range. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to print, here is the list with players at the back of playing field. Okay, so for that reason, I'll just do create a loop for n in range 1 to 50, or you can say 51, and if a small if condition, if n in players at front, then you have to print n. You have to say that print n, else print else. Okay, you have to continue with that list. So instead of printing, why not just put it only once? Continue with the printing of n numbers. So when I'm going to run it, let's see what would be the result. See, the list has been generated with the numbers 1 to 50, and I have to check that whether the numbers I've actually allotted for the players at front are in the list or not. So 11 is not in the list, 15 is not in the list, 20 is not in the list, and 25 is also not on the list. So what this program has actually done to the coding. So the program I want to actually use, the function is continue, and the purpose of using this function is continue the loop. The results what I want are the numbers that I've actually put in for the players at front. So accept these numbers for the players. I have actually told the program to run or to display me all the players, all the numbers of the players which are in the range of 1 to 50, and they can be any numbers for those players which are at the back of a playing field. So now I've got the list of numbers. Now I can check it. Yes, these are the remaining numbers for the players at the back of the field. So this is the use of the continue function. And a break function, what we have what we did earlier. So the break function breaks the loop at that point, so with wasting without actually any wastage of the computer memories. So in this case, the continue function has done to the loop is that it has omitted the players already been allotted with the numbers, and actually displayed with the remaining numbers in the range which we have already provided in the loop. So it's all about the continue function. Let's see what we have for functions, and what we have the examples with functions defined. So let's see and go towards the remaining part of the video. Thank you very much. Okay, in this program we're going to tell you that how we're going to define a function, write it down on Python by simple examples, just for the sake of tutorial, just for the sake of training purposes. So right now how we're going to write it, define, for example, pretty much simple bread function, print bread, because it's totally empty. Define, we have defined it as empty because it can be simply done at right click right away. We have to use the quote in print, so you have to keep that in mind if it's a string without any defined, so it would be printed out like as print, as in bread, sorry. So I've used quotes for printing just for the reason that the function has been defined bread. It can be used as simple, we just print it out the bread as well without defining any function, but just for the sake of, as I said earlier, for explanation. Later I can also actually have another example. Right now defining the function USD to PKR, and that we define as USD colon and one defining USD to PKR, and afterwards you can do it like for example, convert into PKR equal to USD into 150, print the result out, and calling the function later on, that would be for example $3, and I'm going to run the program. It will show 450, replacing it with some other value like 5. I'm going to run it again, it will show 750 against the value 15. So the park rupees would be 2250. I can actually put it as well. If I put it in, so when I'm going to run it, it will show 250 to 2250 PKR. For $22, it will going to show me 3300 PKR. So you can use as a simple function just to convert the two currencies. So let's see what we have all for the coming examples. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to actually run a function in which we're going to define return, and which we're going to name the function when we're going to call it. So this is how we're going to do it. Let's see. If I'm going to define a function in which I want to get the year of due year for computerized national identity card, when would be a person eligible for a card? Obviously as per the law of the land. In Pakistan it's after 18 years since the year of birth. So how we going to get that due year? By using Python, and as I said, how we going to actually define the function. So for example, user CNIC year is I put it as year of birth. User CNIC year and year of birth, and afterwards you can see what would be the due year. Due year would be user CNIC year plus 18 years, and afterwards definition of user CNIC year is year of birth. Due year is user CNIC year after 18, and you add in at the 18 year and you return it, as I said earlier, return the due year okay. So when I'm going to call it, the function user CNIC year, that can be any year whatsoever, naming it as, for example, I have Sarah due year. So printing it out, user due year for CNIC is Sarah due year, and it would be valid for next 10 years. Okay, so when I'm going to run it, let's see if it's possible to get the result. No, which I have not put on the, for example, at 90, 80 is the year of birth. So it's showing that it would be due year Sarah, due year would be year of birth needs to be put in. Okay, it has to be year of birth, sorry, year of birth. Obviously, logically speaking, the year of birth 18 is to be added in the year of birth. So when I'm going to run it, yes, user due year for CNIC is 1998, valid for next 10 years. That would be the statement that will be popped out at the screen at the user interface, and that how we're going to get our required information. You can use any year of birth. For example, I say that it would be 1995, then would be 2013, valid for next 10 years. So you can use any sort of the information, and the main purpose is just to let you know that how you can use a return function within a return syntax within a function, so that obviously you can get the result. So it normally applies uh, to to a scenario when we have the returning customers, because when the function would be over, it will return back to the defined function. So it will keep on returning until and unless we want to have as many results as we want. So that's the main purpose of the simple program. Let's see what we have next to tell you more about the functions. Okay, here we're going to actually tell you, normally when we don't actually specify the argument in a function, it means that yes, it's by nature it's default. uh, but if we want to actually print out some argument or give it some string, so we're going to do it in a function. Let's see, if for example we're going to define the function like this, that we want to determine the gender. And determining the gender means that gender in default, it's unknown, and we're going to put it unknown, and we're going to say that if sex is M, print male, else if sex is female, print female, or else print unknown. Okay, so when we're going to call the function, we're going to say that gender is M, or we're going to say that what and then in the and gender is F, and gender is empty. So what the result would be on the console? Let's see. So you see that yes, it's the results are being shown as male, female, and unknown. So what we have done, we have done the argument using the argument unknown as a default argument in this function. So this is how you can use a function and put in some actually string attached to that argument if it's by default, so you can display accordingly as per your use. So it's all about the functions right now, and giving some of the examples, some of the basic examples, that how we're going to write down the function, calling it down, calling it later, and specifying the arguments, specifying the codes within the function, and displaying the result on the console accordingly. So I'm going to end my video about all the stuff. Moreover, I want to actually add it that if you want to add some sort of comments, because in all the example over in all the previous examples, and mostly in all this video, we haven't used the comments. Comments are normally being put in when we want to have the information to be forwarded to, or if the code is need to be forwarded to our team players or team members, if so that they can get the idea that what's the whole code is all about. So what I'm going to see, that is, for example, I see that putting it will tell us about gender. Okay, so whoever going to see this code will obviously uh, be informed that what's the purpose of the code. So putting it in the comments, you just have to use the hash, and afterwards you just mention, as you can put it a hash, and you can tell any code whatsoever. If you want to mention, if some clarification needs to be put in for any code or any line, you can do it by inserting the comment, and you can forward the details of our codes to your respective team members, or the team members on the project. So if I'm going to see that it's the same result has been displayed, just to let you know that the comments can be used anywhere before the whole program, within the program, and after with before a code line, and you can inform what is being done over here, and what we're going to do in the whole program. So it's all about this video. I hope you're going to get more about Python in our coming videos off and on. So keep enjoying our channel, liking, commenting, and sharing it. Thank you very much. Take care and have a nice day.